All right, we're back and board is normalized. One of the joys of analog recording, if you're used to recording in the box, is normaling your mixer. That's basically getting everything so there's no EQ, there's no effects sends, everything's panned straight up, and all your faders to the 0 position, which I didn't do that, but there's a nifty button here for that, I think. All 0. There we go. So now we should be able to play it back and hear everything in the right channels on the board. I'll just start basically getting a balance so that it's listenable. Sounds like we're missing some things. It's going very heavy and slow. I didn't want to fly. So, missing some tracks, I'll have to figure out what's wrong. I'm going to start zooming in here and kind of taking a look at the beginning here. We don't need all this stuff in the beginning on all these drums. And in fact, I want to create a group for the drums. And this is so that when I edit the drums, they stay locked. I don't want them slipping out of time from each other. So I'm going to select all the drums. I'm guessing the shaker and tambourine were overdubs and not recorded with all the other drums. So selecting all these and add a group, and we'll call it drums. Looks right. So now if I do anything, you can see that it'll do all the drums together so they stay locked the way they were recorded. Just chop that off. But you can see, when you can see that much noise on the tracks, on the vocal tracks in particular, you know you need to clean those up. So these are going to be fairly noisy vocal tracks, and we're going to have to edit them very tightly and make sure we're getting rid of all that. So if we just listen to that, what's going on here with that soloed, it's a click track. You can hear the acoustic a little bit, so headphone bleed probably coming through there pretty loud. So we definitely want to clean these tracks up really well. And we'll keep doing that tighter and tighter. May need a gate even to get between phrases. But right now I'm just going to get the big chunks of time that I know need to go away. Just makes all the editing easier. I can see where parts come in really easily. All right. And these tracks are a little bit too tall for me, so I'm just going to do all the tracks. Option, all. Option does all. Okay. So. Alright, so that's the start of the song. I'm going to put a marker right there. Start. First thing I notice when I start that is how much those overheads really pop out there, so the overheads are probably too loud. That's a nice ride though. So now we're going to get into a lot more detailed editing and basically pocketing the tracks so that everything's very tight. But the first thing we need to do before we can really pocket the tracks is I want to get the tempo of the song aligned to the grid in Pro Tools. So since I just loaded these tracks in, there is a click track, which is convenient because that makes it a lot easier to calculate. But this isn't aligned to the grid in Pro Tools in any way, so I need to basically tell Pro Tools what the tempo is. And if there's tempo changes throughout the song, then we'll have to figure all those out and put them all throughout the song. All right, so we got to determine the tempo of the song, and the way we're going to do that is we're going to use this click track here, and we're going to grab about a bar of that, and we're going to use beat, identify beat, and we're going to tell it that this is one measure by saying the start is 1, the end is 2, so one measure. So 92 beats per minute. All right, so undo that because I don't actually want the tempo change in there. And we're gonna create a tempo change right there. On that, we're gonna put it on the grid, make sure it's set to the right grid. And add a tempo change, 92 beats per minute. Okay. So now this click track should start to line up pretty well. Assuming there's no tempo changes in the whole song, we're done, but I bet there's tempo changes.